It's 7th century BC Rome. You're 7 years old, probably thinking about your favorite goat or whether you can dodge chores today. Normal kid stuff. Then someone knocks on your door. Not an angry knock, a polite one, which honestly makes it worse. Your dad opens it, and standing there is a man in robes so white they practically glow. This is the Pontifex Maximus, basically the Pope of ancient Rome, except with an army, a government, and zero chill. And he's not here to say hi to your dad. He's here for you. He looks you over like he's inspecting a used chariot. Checks you've got all 10 fingers, all 10 toes, that you can hear, that you can see. No weird limp. You pass the vibe check. Congrats, because passing means you don't get to stay home ever again. He's picking you to become a Vestal virgin. You have no idea what that means yet. Your parents do. And judging by your mom's face, it's not, you won a prize. It's more, say goodbye to your daughter. You don't get a vote, neither do they. When the head priest of Rome points at your kid, the answer is yes. So just like that, you're peeled away from your family and marched off to a temple you've never seen, to serve a goddess you barely know, for a length of time your 7-year-old brain can't even count to. 30 years. Yeah. 3 decades. 10 years learning the job, 10 years doing the job, 10 years teaching the job to the next batch of terrified kids. You will be middle-aged before you're allowed to make a single choice for yourself again. And that's the good ending. They bring you to the Temple of Vesta, and okay, it's stunning. Marble everywhere, columns, the works. For a second you think maybe this won't be so bad. Then they explain the one rule, the big one. See that fire in the middle of the temple? That flame? It can never go out. Ever. Not on your watch. Not on anyone's. That fire is basically the soul of Rome. As long as it burns, Rome is safe. If it dies, Rome is doomed. No pressure. So now you're 7, ripped from your family, and personally responsible for the survival of an entire empire via one campfire. And if you let it go out, even by accident, even if you fell asleep because you're a literal child, you don't get a time out. You get dragged in front of the high priest and beaten, flogged, in the dark, stripped down, whipped by the holiest man in Rome. For a fire. Cool, cool, cool. Great start. So you learn fast. You learn to tend that flame like your life depends on it, because plot twist, it does. You and the other Vestals rotate shifts like the world's most stressful night shift job, except instead of getting fired, you get flogged. Years pass. You get good at it. You get older. And slowly, something weird starts happening. People start respecting you. Because here's the thing nobody warned you about. Being a Vestal isn't all fire and fear. It comes with perks. Big ones. You get front row seats at the games. Better seats than actual senators. You get a personal bodyguard called a lictor, who walks ahead of you and clears the streets. Like an ancient bouncer with a bundle of sticks. You can own property, which basically no other woman in Rome can do. You can write a will. You can testify in court without swearing an oath, because your word is just assumed to be true. And the wildest one? If you pass a condemned prisoner on his way to execution, and you say the word, he goes free. You, personally, can cancel a death sentence just by vibes. You're rich. You're powerful. You're untouchable. This is the VIP lounge of ancient Rome, and you've got the platinum membership. Except, it's a cage. A gorgeous, gold-plated marble cage. But a cage. Because every single one of those perks comes with the same invisible chain wrapped around your neck. And that chain has a name. Chastity. For 30 years, you cannot touch a man, cannot marry, cannot flirt, cannot be caught alone with a guy in a way that looks even a little sus. Your body isn't yours. It belongs to Rome. And Rome is extremely serious about the return policy. Because if you break that vow, if you fall in love, If someone even accuses you of falling in love, Rome doesn't just kick you out. Oh no, that would be too easy. See, spilling a Vestal's sacred blood is forbidden. So they got creative. They found a loophole so dark it makes your stomach drop. They bury you alive. Not a metaphor. They dig a small underground chamber. They put a bed in it, a lamp, a little bread, a little water, a little oil. Then they lower you in, seal the top, and cover it with dirt. And because you technically have food and technically have air for a while, well, the state didn't kill you. The gods did, see? Totally clean hands. Rome invented deniability 2,000 years before lawyers did. And your boyfriend? The guy you supposedly broke the vow with? He gets publicly flogged to death in the forum while the whole city watches. So the romance really doesn't work out for anybody. Now here's the part that'll keep you up at night. You don't even have to actually do anything. Because a Vestal isn't just a priestess, she's a symbol. And when the symbol is pure, Rome is safe. So the second Rome stops feeling safe? Guess who becomes the prime suspect? Lost a battle? Maybe a Vestal was impure and angered the gods. Plague sweeping the city. Better check the Vestals. Weird omen, bad harvest, comet in the sky, general bad vibes. Round up the fire girls. You could be completely innocent, celibate, loyal, perfect, and still get entombed because a general lost a war 300 miles away and the Senate needed someone to blame. You are Rome's designated scapegoat. A human. Have you tried turning it off and on again for an entire empire's problems? So you live your whole gilded life being watched. Constantly. Every word you say. Every man you glance at. Every second of your day. Someone's tracking it. Whispering about it. Ready to twist it. One rumor. One jealous rival. One politician who needs a distraction. That's all it takes to turn your marble palace into a hole in the ground. Your entire life is one leaked secret away from a death sentence. And honestly, that kind of exposure isn't as ancient as you'd think. Because right now, in the real world, your personal information is floating around out there for anyone to dig up. Your address, your phone number, your family, your daily routine, all being bought and sold by data brokers you've never even heard of. One angry stranger, one obsessive rando, and suddenly your private life is very, very public. So, back to your life sentence. Decades crawl by. You tend the flame. You dodge the accusations. You watch other Vestals get dragged off into the dark for crimes real and invented. And every single time, you tell yourself the same thing. Not me. Keep your head down. Keep the fire lit. Survive. And somehow, you do. 30 years. You make it. You're one of the rare ones who reaches the finish line without being flogged, buried, or blamed for a war. And now, technically, you're free. You can leave. You can retire. You can even gasp, get married. Except, to who? You're middle-aged now, in a world where women got married at 14. You've spent your entire life inside one building serving one flame. So, normal life is a foreign country you have no map for. And here's the cherry on top. Romans think marrying a retired Vestal is bad luck. Cursed even. You gave the empire 30 years of your body and your fear, and your reward is that nobody wants you. So most Vestals just stay. Back in the only home they've ever known, tending the same fire, sleeping in the same rooms, growing old beside the flame that owned their entire existence. Free on paper, trapped in reality. Freedom that isn't freedom at all. But let's say your story doesn't even get that far. Let's say you're one of the unlucky ones. Picture it. You're innocent. You've done everything right. The fire has never gone out on your watch. You've never so much as smiled at a man. But Rome just lost a brutal battle, thousands of soldiers dead, and the city is panicking, and the priests need an answer, a reason the gods turned their backs. So they look around, and they land on you. There's a trial, sort of. It's not really about evidence. It's about what the city needs to believe. And the city needs you to be guilty. So you are. They come for you at dawn. They dress you in silence. They carry you through the streets on a covered litter. And the whole city comes out to watch. Not to save you, just to see. You can hear them through the curtain. You can't say a word, because who would even listen? You reach the edge of the city, and there it is. The little staircase going down into the dark. The bed. The lamp. The bread you'll never finish. You climb down, because there's nothing else to do. They pull the ladder up after you. And then, above your head, you hear the sound that ends everything. Dirt, being shoveled back into place. You went from a 7-year-old thinking about your goat to one of the most powerful women in Rome. You kept the flame of an empire alive for 30 years. You survived the whippings, the rules, the whispers, the endless eyes. And this is how it ends. For a war you never fought. For a crime you never committed. You didn't get to prove you were innocent. You didn't get to see your family one last time. You didn't get to say goodbye.